Welcome to today's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This. I am your host today, CDL113, the droid you're looking for. With me today is
The token respected train wreck, Tarky.
The experience that some call Jason.
And the Godfather.
And with us today is Daniel Barker. He's the person behind Real Villain Comics. How you doing, Daniel?
Doing pretty good.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, and Daniel.
All right. I'm 28. I was born in Philadelphia, PA. I moved out here about 4 years ago to Sacramento, California. Just for a change, try to do something different with my life, bring my kids to a better spot, and kind of try to look for better opportunity, man. You see Will Smith do it, so you try to come out here and make something happen.
I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, it went through my mind too. Even
the song started up in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing our age. Oh, okay. How did you get started doing your book?
Oh man, so this is all right. This is a long one. So, all right, I'm like a real cartoon addict. I'm from back when, if you want to go Animaniacs, if you want to go way before that, Sailor Moon, Beetleborgs, if you want to go way before that,
Mention Street Sharks.
Oh, Street Sharks when they got captured by the scientist and he stuck the needle in their arm and they turned into sharks, dude. I'm all over that. Do you remember the Jumanji Cartoon? Because I think that was around the time the Jumanji Cartoon was out.
As when it comes to Saturday morning cartoons, that era, I was spotty at best. I'd see some, but wouldn't see something good. I had a yard mowing I had to do on weekends, so I'd miss out a lot of Saturday morning. I remember seeing a few here and there though.
But yeah, man. So it started like with cartoons. Me and my brother used to just have epic battles, and we just used to love when the superhero, he was about to lose, but then he would just come back miraculously. It was awesome. So as I grew up, back when I was in Philadelphia, I had got in trouble and I had got incarcerated. And while I was in there, and I was thinking, I was just like, man, I got to do something so I'll have something when I'm out or something. So I was like, you know what? Let me just start detailing out a video game. That's where it all started. Didn't know how to do it or nothing like that. So I just started detailing it out. Just didn't have no direction. I just started going, right?
Mm-hmm. Just let the creative juices flow.
Yeah. And that wound up turning over into a 120-page script. Now that script was for just a complete animation. No cursing, just for kids, something like a Disney. And I still have it on paper. I typed it up when I was in there and everything. And when I came home, I wanted to make another script. But I thought that idea was so good. Let's not stop here. Let's write another one. So I wrote another one. And this one, my main thing I wanted to get across with this one was, and this is not a racial thing or thing like that, but I just felt like it wasn't a main character black superhero. The last one I remember, I think, was Static Shock. I know they got Black Lightning, but in the Marvel world, he's not, And then I just remember Static Shock wound up getting with Justice League, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So he was, yep. So he was still under, that type of superhero. So I was just like, where is the main black superhero? Like, where is he at? I don't see somebody as good as Spider-Man, as good as Iron Man. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it on my own. So I wrote the other script. I went to Ghost Book Writing, paid them about $800. They helped me edit the script and had some other ghostwriters help me out. And then I wound up getting it turned into a comic. They was like, that's the most affordable thing because an animation clip is like, it's way too much money.
Oh yeah, and animation gets huge in budgets.
Dude, I was like, how do you expect me to? Now, I did link up with this one guy, and he actually did 3D, three of the 3D models for me for a decent price. So I do have three 3D models, but they're nothing like those characters. They're like a complete separate a complete separate thing. So, but yeah, man. After that, that's when I just started on the Experiment Squad, and I found Ricardo. His name was Ricardo Alves, and we just started working, and one thing led to another, and I started writing out, and this is my first time making a comic book. I had no knowledge about making a comic book. I just remember when I was incarcerated, I seen a video with Stan Lee, and he said, all I remember him saying in this video, and it was like an hour, 20-minute like video. All I remember him saying was, it starts with comics and it always will. And that just stuck with me. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just make this into a comic for people to see. That way it's a proven concept. And here we are, working on the second one.
All right. You saying you're the writer of the stuff. Who's your artist, your inker, your colorist? Who's your team?
Okay, so right now my line work artist is Ricardo Alves. I use Jeremiah Skipper for my artwork. For my logo, his name is what's his name? Day Hasten or something like that. It's Day Hasten. I got him up on Facebook. And for the letterer, and I have a really good letterer, dude, but he hates me because I'm new to this, so everything that I did wasn't professional enough for him, so he hates me for it, but he loves the work we do. Yeah, and letter is Lucas Gattoni. Now, I just found a new line work artist, but it just costs way more money. But I think these characters can actually be like official characters. You get what I'm saying? Like on the level of like a Spider-Man or Iron Man or something like that. So now I got Felix Morales. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah.
Oop.
You there?
Yep, I'm here. So
right.
So
Felix
now I have
Morales.
That's who I have now for the line work artist, and he's just redoing everything and then taking it to that level where it's competitive. So, and then I'm going to keep the same colorist. He's trying to get me to another colorist that he thinks better than mine, but when I got my team, I don't like to do that to him,
Yeah, I mean, and there's also got to be the idea of like consistency, and if it works, it works.
Yeah, for sure. Because these characters came out way better, dude. They came out like really respectable. Like, I feel like I could stand my own 2 feet with these characters, I don't think I need. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people will call me crazy, but the moment Marvel or DC came to them for a deal, they would eat it up. Me, I kind of don't even want a deal from neither, to be honest. It's because I'm not like hurt. More money is great, but I'm not hurting for money. But the thing is, like, I want to own my own. I want to be the next Marvel.
Yeah,
I want to be the.
That's a big thought that's prevailing right now with a lot of comic book creators. You're kind of on the ground floor of this big explosion right now for more indie comic makers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in the day when McFarlane did it, everybody thought he was insane, But
he didn't do it by himself.
Yeah, he didn't do it by himself. But even back then, that was you're going up against the big two. What's wrong with you?
Traditionally, the indie comics have always
struggled.
Yeah, always kind of really struggled to last. Though digital comics have made a big difference there.
Oh, for sure. My plan with that was, okay, so when I say, hey, look, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it this way, right? Yeah, a lot of people tell me they're like yeah, man, but Marvel and DC does it this way and they do that, and I'm like, dude, I'm Real Villain Comics. I'm not them. I can't even compete with them. It would be stupid for me to try to compete with them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you're trying to find a group that likes that style and go with it.
Exactly. And I will build pinch by pinch. I will just build inch by inch by inch by inch, and just keep building slowly. Because Jay-Z, granted, he's one of the biggest rappers out, but when he drops an album, he doesn't drop often, but when he drops, everybody's listening. Marvel drops 24/7, so you can't compete with them. All you can do is make the best product possible to make it stand out, and put it up, and just keep coming out. Not all the time, but as much as you can. Come out. But when you come out, you have to make sure it's really unique and original, and it's different. And from what I'm hearing from the comic stores that I'm in right now, I think we're in Pittsburgh. We're trying to get in Alaska right now. We're over there in LA. We're in Georgia, and we're in Sacramento right now. And this is me distributing and manufacturing with just me and my team. I don't even go through Diamond Distribution or nothing like that, because I wanted to build the connections with these stores myself. I want them to know me,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the route I'm taking, and I'm not even thinking about competing with Marvel and DC. They're not even like, I don't look at them for. I did just buy a book to kind of see what was, the hype about with the Spider-Man and stuff. And as I went through the book, I did learn some things. The paneling was pretty good. And the words were very slim. They didn't put too many words in there, but just enough to get the point across. And there were some things that I learned, but then they had advertisements with deodorant, Old Spice deodorant, and all this other stuff. I literally burned the comic after that. I burned it. It had to go. It made me so mad. I said, "What the hell is that?" I was so pissed, dude. I seen Snapchat emojis. I was mad as hell. Excuse my language if I'm.
You're good.
Don't worry.
Yeah, man. When I seen that, I was mad. I was like, okay, I think I can compete. It's just going to take a long, long, long time and a lot of help.
Yeah.
So, and this is where I'm at now. I'm working on the second issue. Now, the second issue is going to have completely, the characters are all going to be upgraded, but I was going to start over because I got a new artist and everything was better. But I think I'm just going to continue with this story as it switches over. Because I feel like if I go back and start over, then I'm not really progressing, It's just more, I'm still stuck in one spot. So I'd rather just, because the first issue is the first issue, they'll give you the second chance. So when I come out on the second one, I'm just going to start the story off where it left off on the first one, and then that's what it's going to be from here on out.
Well,
Yeah, continuity is a big thing. You don't. If you got a flow going, you don't want to break it, especially being new. Yeah. Just go on. If you upgrade your art, just go on and upgrade it, and let people that get the next one be like, oh, art's a lot better. And keep going.
Okay.
There's been plenty of examples in comic books where, I'll give you an example. Marvel, back in the 80s, you had the New Mutants comic book. They switched artists 5 or 6 times in 1 year. So you would have one issue where the art was really, really good. And then you'd have an issue where the art was really, really bad. So.
Hang on, Danny, we lost him.
Okay, now I hear you.
Okay.
They switch artists 5 or 6 times in 1 year?
Yeah. And you'd have 1 or 2 issues where the art was really good. Then you'd have 1 or 2 issues where the art was what the hell is this crap? And then you'd get 2 issues where it was okay, they got somebody completely different than the other 2 guys. But the story, the writing was the same. And you're sitting there going, then you realize by the 6th issue, the different changes in art were one of the characters' perspectives. She was insane, and it was what she was seeing, but the interpretation. But you didn't know that until the very end, because you go through a couple of this and you're like, oh, this is just complete and utter crap. I like this story. What the hell?
Wait around the bush, Danny. Tell us what you think about it.
Oh, I didn't.
But New Mutants, I can remember the Demon Bear storyline. It was a neat storyline, but man, the art was awful. During that little chapter.
And it's not until the end of it you find out that the main villain, where she was telepathic, she was seeing things through everybody's eyes, but where she had been turned insane. Yeah, her look on things was fucked up. Everybody's perspective is different. Yeah. But she was seeing the events through their eyes sometimes, and then sometimes through her eyes. Oh my God.
Wait, how did they even? How did they even pull that off in the comic? Like the fact that she can see through somebody else's, like what technique did they use? Because you really had to sit down to do something like that. You had to really think about that.
Well, this was back in the day when Marvel had this thing called an editor-in-chief, and he would sit down with the writers of the books and go, okay, here's the Bible. You have to keep these characters in the Bible.
And it's also a period when Marvel had, like, what, 15 books? Tops?
But, like, if a character had a backstory, you had to keep within that backstory. You may add a little bit. Right. If you had to take it away, you had to have a damn good reason to take it away. But, you had a character. They had this one character. She was a hero. She got captured by some villains, and they messed with her head. Where she was a telepath, villains had messed with her, and it kind of drove her insane. And now, all of a sudden, she's her former teammate's arch enemy. And it's like, when she would see, then she had already had kind of like a telepathic rapport with most of them. And when she's seeing through their eyes, but she's insane, it messes up your perspective as the reader. The story stays the same, and it's not until the end that you find out, oh, this chick is crazy.
Oh.
So I wonder if the art was actually a part of their plan, or if that was just their explanation afterwards, because they had been swapping artists.
Yeah, they just had to slap something together, and they're like, whoa, hold on. We've got a telepath. We can make weird work.
I don't know if it was their original plan, but that's what they made it by the end, because you're sitting there going, what the hell? Yeah. But I can't remember the artist's name that would draw so messed up.
Well, I hope not, because you basically spent the past 5 minutes going, his art shit. So, yeah. I hope you don't remember his name.
But to stay on the point of art, as far as getting your comic put together, in your mental picture at the start, how much did that river divert? How much did the comic change as you produced it from what your original thought was for how the comic would look?
Let's talk about that. That's funny that you said that. That's actually a good question. Because it does. It does. Because as you're trying to, because I have my script, right? And I'm trying to stick to the script as much as possible. But as I'm going along and doing these panels, right? It's just like a freedom that you get of like just you can add. It's like you're still going along with the skeleton of the thing, but it's like you can add certain stuff that you didn't in the script, and you can put different things in there that you might have missed that you think might be cool, or new ideas might come, but you got to remember to stick to the core story. It's so hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It's really hard.
You're kind of, once you start putting meat on the bones, you're like, oh, I can do a whole lot, and then suddenly you realize you've put too much in the arm and you can't scratch your own back.
Yep.
It's an interesting analogy.
Yep. So that's why I'm trying to I'm trying to stick to the script. Literally, I'm trying to stick to the script. So.
Right. But as far as like how it diverted, can you think of any specific examples?
Okay, so I mean, let's see. All right, so when I started the first issue off, I knew people didn't want to be bored, and the kids' attention span, and a lot of people attention span, because a lot of people smoke marijuana now. A lot of people don't want to. A lot of people don't want to read.
And their attention span's gone.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't want to. They don't want to. They want to read, but not too much. So I figured, let's give them let's take an action part out of like the middle of the script. And let's make that first, so everybody can see some good stuff, and it makes them interested. Like, wait, what is going on? What is going on? And they got all these questions. But if you just follow the entire series, everything you have will be answered. And that's how I kind of wanted it. I wanted it, and this thing, it can also play across multiple platforms, man. Cartoon, animation, live action / animation. Like I really sat and I wanted it to be able to go across all platforms. But yeah, dude, I mean, what else changed? Let me see. How can I get this? How can I?
All right, good example. Your heroes and villains in the story. Did, like, say in your original idea, this character's a hero, and then you realize, oh, he makes a better villain. Anything like that happen?
Oh, yes, actually it did. So it was Beowulf, all right? So Beowulf, I made a villain. right? He was a villain in the beginning, and Ape Beast was supposed to be one of Danny's forms. But the suit give him different forms, so it was supposed to be one of his forms. Okay. So in the first issue, it was three objects that gave him their suit. It was 2 helmets, and the girl had a jacket. And those 3 gave him their. I tried to do something unique, but this idea I had in the back of my head that would take it to the next level, right? I'm going to do it on the second issue. There are 3 objects that's going to be their suits. They're going to be high-tech masks. And I haven't really seen that anywhere, you know? So I thought that would be unique and pretty cool. And
I can't think of a mask-based stuff that's been recent.
Yeah, the last thing
I can think of is the mask, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, wait, okay. The only thing I could think of is the mask. So I was just like, okay, that been done. And I like to do things that been done before. So when I do can go for a loan or go pitch my idea to someone to try to make a partner deal, I can tell them, like, this has been on TV before and it worked. Look at this. Look at Dexter's Laboratory. Look at Jimmy Neutron. Look at Cotty with a Chance of Meatballs. People love the scientist aspect of, like, you get what I'm saying? The creation type science. Yeah, people love that. So I was like, and I love it. So
you can kind of point out to them where part of this idea will work to show them there's a niche that, you know, you can fit into.
Well, like, you see how there was an audience for this? You see how 10 years later, there was still an audience for this?
Yeah.
And there's still going to be an audience for this 10 years down the road, champ.
Exactly. Like one of you guys just said, the shark cartoon. They had scientists that operated on anything almost. Didn't they swim, like, underground too? Wasn't they able to, like, go underground or something like that?
Their fans would literally split the streets as they were.
Yeah, street sharks. That's why. Okay. Yeah. But and it's been proven. It's been proven time and time again. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the aspect that it's no real, you know, what is it called? It's no real black superhero. You know, like, with a great power that people respect. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think
tend to be global.
Yes, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, dude, because, dude, I really love doing this. Like, I really do. And if I'm not mistaken, dude, I think I got a superhero that's, like, he's really good. So basically, the black superhero, gives him a suit, right? The suit gives him the ability to take on mixed species forms with an ice elemental power. So, yeah. So that's that guy, and I think that would be pretty unique, man. I think I haven't seen that out there yet. I really haven't seen that out there. The mask gives him a suit. In the suit, he's able to turn into mixed species with an elemental power, and it's ice. And I was like, I don't think anybody has done anything like that before. Out of my years of living, I never seen anything like it.
I can't think of anything. You know, I've been into comic books and cartoons since I was little. I was born in 1970.
Ooh,
so
okay.
I'm coming up on my 50th birthday this year.
How old is dirt?
Yeah, I'm the only one here not old.
I love that.
He has the knowledge, is what it is.
The man that just shouted that I'm old as dirt, he'll be 49 this year.
Yeah, the day after you. And
but, you know, growing up, you would see, okay, you got this character, he's got this power. Oh, he gets his power from a suit. He can fire energy beams, or he can fly.
Yeah.
In all that time, I don't think I've ever seen, okay, this gadget lets him shapeshift into other thing. Oh, yeah, and he has eyes.
The closest I can think of to anything like that would be like Ben 10, which isn't exactly the same, but it's still tech-based and him changing forms.
See, I was thinking the Wonder Twins.
Only one of them shapeshifted in animals.
Yeah. Right, and the other one had an element they shaped into.
Oh,
water.
water.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Like it's kind of the idea of it's one character that does both the things the Wonder Twins could do at the same time.
Yeah,
And
I
looks
think
like Gleek, the monkey.
the real twist is the mixed species aspect. The fact
Yeah.
that it's two different
Yeah,
species.
That opens up a
Yeah.
lot of variants.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can combine, aspects
now
of your
what-
critters.
And yeah, and I can actually give them like say for instance, if you have, say for instance, if you just for speaking hypothetically, you mix a monkey with something else. Now a monkey's ability, he's very like athletic. He'll be able to swing and climb and do certain things.
Now, is that the lion-looking guy on the cover?
Yeah, that's bear wolf right there. That's the wolf and the bear mixed, and the elemental power for him is ice.
And,
But he just got redone by Felix though. So now if you go up on the Facebook and you scroll like past all the Black Lives Matter stuff and go all the way down, like you'll be able to see the new form of bear wolf, which actually looks more like a bear and a wolf with ice powers.
now, is that one of the black and white pictures?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, they
I
haven't
think
been
I think I've
colored
got
yet.
it. Yeah. Though I did really like the character design for the woman on the covers.
Oh, dude, you should see the upgrade he's working on. Oh my god, dude, she looks 10 times better, man.
I'll have to keep my eye out on your Facebook to see
Yeah,
When
I
you
gave her
post
a instead of the sword she usually has, since the fire armor dude already had a sword, I was like, you know what? Hey, switch her weapon to a staff. Give her a Donatello staff, and I think that would be pretty awesome.
Now,
From,
power wise, she was basically a fire elemental type, or
She basically win. She could phase through things, phase through objects. She could fly, She just got wind powers, basically, and the staff. The staff is supposed to make. She can.
This is God punishing Jason because he won't let a woman in his house.
Yeah, that's it.
God's a chick.
this is a small price to pay. Then we're at 34 minutes, and I know not much of that
And
is.
instead of wrapping up, you're gonna have to go a little longer because you're gonna have whole chunks of this time. You're gonna have to cut the fuck out.
Yes, so she's just wind. She could just like phase through things. She has wind power, and the staff.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll just. And the other dude, the armored fire, I call him a flaming legend. He can multiply, and he also increases in size, and he has fire powers, and he can fly too. So,
Okay.
I mean, but I didn't want those two I wanted them to be good, but a couple notches or a notch below Danny. Because I have to make sure like this black superhero is unique, man. We really could use something like this,
You wanted a character to be the focus.
Yeah, you would have hit him with
Yes.
a big gun.
Yeah, I had to give him that. I mean, who else? What? It's nobody else out there for us, man. Dude, seriously, it's no other black character. I mean, Static Shock was the best thing smoking. That's all we had,
But,
really.
that cartoon was a while back.
That was a good cartoon.
My opinion on that though, the trick to a great hero, and the thing where a lot of black characters go down the toilet is your rogues gallery.
What's
Think
that?
about it. You get a Black Panther. Black Panther's rogues gallery is crap. Blue Marvel is powerful as hell. His rogues gallery is crap.
Yep, there's no villains to go up against them.
Yeah, and that's where if you look at comics history, especially with us, that's where you get caught in one or two ways. Either you got a lame power set, or you ain't got to worry about that one. But the second part that you get is if you have a black character that's powerful, their villains suck, and that's really what bases you. That's other than Superman, who's the exception to that rule. That's what's gonna make you hero. Batman is really just a ninja. His rogues gallery is hell. Spider-Man is neat enough, but his rogues gallery is deep and it's expansive.
Yeah, Flash is
That's
another
where-
one with a big rogues gallery.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people miss out when we try and go, okay, I'm gonna make a black hero, is we end up missing out on the rogues gallery. Miles Morales is popular. You can't name one Miles Morales villain.
No.
Because he doesn't have any. And that's
right.
And that's truthfully, even when you go into other movies, that's what's gonna make or break you.
Well, that's one thing that hurts the Captain Marvel book, is she doesn't really have villains to go up against.
Yeah, and that's always gonna be that's gonna be the thing that makes your character like a world type character. Is he's going up against hardcore shit. If he or she's going up against hardcore shit, yeah, you'll get, that's where when you read it you go. But yeah, that's gonna, trust me, that's really gonna be what makes or breaks your character is who
have
they
an
fight.
epic villain.
Yep, you gotta have, because that's the trick. You can, because there's example after example. You look at Al Ewing's Mighty Avengers. That team was majority black. If the team was stout enough that they really should have been going up against people like the Masters of Evil, but he had them going up against were chickens. Literally, you had them fighting were chickens in one of them. Okay. Yeah, that's what knocks you from, oh, this is Avengers that can go toe to toe with the big boys, to what the hell is this bargain basement shit?
One of the great examples I saw on a discussion about black heroes and their villains, one of the guys was like, okay, look, if say you got your team, they need a Dr. Doom or somebody of that equivalent level bad guy boss who has minions or super powered minions or teams that he can send out against them. Or, hey, I want you to go rob this art gallery over here, and he sends 4 guys. Some of your team members show up and they fight those guys. They find a plot that, hey, it links back to this guy who's got diplomatic immunity that we can't touch yet.
Yeah. Now, do you remember Power Rangers with the God, what is that? The guy, the red guy with the staff, Z? Zorg, was it Zorg?
Lord
or
Zed?
something like that?
All right. It was Zed was the evil one, Zordon was the good one.
Yeah.
Zed. It was Zed. So, remember how he constantly just made clay monsters and threw them down there?
Well, he stood up there, I'm the biggest, baddest. Oh. It's Power Rangers. Come on, I could have talked about this shit.
You are a token.
Yeah.
All right. So Zed was up there and he's like, I'll delegate taking over the Earth to Rita. Yo, Rita, go do some stuff. And then Rita would make clay soldiers and toss them down.
It was Rita. Okay. Yeah, it was Rita.
Because Zed was even further back behind that and even more powerful.
Yeah, Rita was
I seen that they did that, and I was like, wow, they can just keep making villains just drop down like that. And I was just like, you know what? So the mad scientist, he experiments. That's why it's Experiment Squad. He experiments on people, He experiments on people. Anything he can kind of create, that's what he does. Now, the thing was, before I knew the superheroes were good, but the sad part was, I think the villains were better. That's the villain. I felt like what you guys just said. You kind of need it in order to, like you said, in order to have a superhero, you have to have awesome villains. I think seriously, my villains, other than Danny, the main superhero, I think my villains are better than them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all my villains are kind of better than my superheroes, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, all your villains need to be challenges. Need to be challenging and need to push the heroes.
They're bossy. If you go on there, I think I have Cyclops is up there. It's like a snake-like creature with horns coming out of the side of his face.
Yeah.
It's like a snake-like creature, and there's horns coming out of the side of his face. He has sharp teeth, one eye.
Kind of bone spurs coming out of his elbows and stuff, yeah.
That dude, he's a problem.
I figured he was a villain when I saw him.
So Cyclops, the snake-like creature, dude, that guy's it's going to take a couple comic books to get that story out. That's a story in itself. You know, just with him, it's just like that dude is just like. I felt like this. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I felt like so throughout the whole comic book, 1 and 2, my characters are getting their ass whipped. They're not even like doing any damage. If they did, it was by accident because they don't know how to use their powers yet.
They're still
So how can they just start attacking and doing all this crazy stuff? So I was like, I'm sorry guys, but you guys got to get whipped for like a couple issues. You guys got to get beat up, man. So they've been getting for the next couple issues. Well, this one and probably the next one, I think, is when they're going to be able to start like picking up some of their skills. Because I had them actually go to a junkyard, you know, and start practicing on what they have. So you're going to see that in the comic. And
they lost the fight, got together and went, okay, look, we got to find a training arc somewhere.
Training
montage. What we doing?
Yep.
I think it was an interview.
Some of the early Black Panthers storylines, you know, I mean, way back in the day. Yeah, he'd spend most of the story getting beat down and then have to kind of battle his way back, you know, at the end.
Yep.
Don McGregor's run on Panther, he tended to get his butt kicked. But what's nice about what he's talking about is that's something you don't really see too much anymore. Your heroes, a lot of times now, are just kind of fully formed and they beat the living hell out of everything.
Yep.
From jump.
Yeah.
Yep. And my heroes, they're not even heroes at first. They're villains because they steal. Yeah, so they're gonna get beat up until, you know, they learn how to use their powers, and then that's when they'll be able to come back. But then even when they come back, they're still kids. So you got to think for them, and you got to think, okay, now if people are getting killed by these villains, how will they really act? They're not going to go out there and start being superheroes. No, they're going to run and they're going to hide until the point that they're just fed up, they're pissed, and they're ready to have get back, you know? So their dad wound up getting
backed into a corner.
Yeah, exactly. So their dad wound up getting cancer, and they steal from this guy. His name is Kingpin. I know Marvel has somebody named Kingpin, but I can always change the name. But so they steal for him, and that's how they make their money. They found out their dad had cancer, and they can't. And cancer runs in my family. I mean, I have multiple people in my family with cancer. You know, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tried to put that in there, and so now they're like, wait, man, the bills are coming in. You know, they're about to get evicted. They're like, yo, what are we supposed to do? They don't want to go back to the guy, but they're like, look, we don't have no choice. So they only go to him when they really need money or something. So they go to him, and at this time, the place he had that he wanted them to steal from was Huntsman's laboratory, and it was the 3 masks that he heard about. So they went and they stole them, and they went back to the house, you know, and they wound up like using them or playing around, and they found out that they had powers, and then that's where it started. So, but I try to give it like real motive between like why somebody would do something like that or why somebody would steal from somebody, you know. And in where I'm from, anybody that's from or been or know about where I'm from, those type of things happen. They just happen. That's that type of. Oh, for sure, easy. It's so easy to. It's very easy. Now, I didn't want to go to lengths of putting the streets in there and putting like, you know, I wanted to really stick to the script, you know, put, you know, the core things in there. So really, so later, I don't know. I kind of want to just give y'all all the. In number 2, their father actually gets killed because in their first battle with Skull and 8 Beast, which is the skull-headed samurai, once they got defeated, you know, they kind of got away and they ran off to the hospital. You know, they were thinking like, okay, we're fine, no one's going to come in here, you know. Well, they do. Skull and 8 Beast busts in the hospital and just starts destroying, you know. And what happens is he throws a fireball and blast out a portion of the hospital which Danny and the superhero's dad was in because he was sick, you know. And what happens is now Danny feels like just think of all these things, dude. He feels like it's his fault that he got his little brother and sister into this situation, right? He's already in poverty, you know. Then he feels like it's his fault that, what just happened to his dad, not to mention they're on their way of getting evicted, dude. So he's going as a team, in a situation like that, he's going through a lot, He's going through a lot. He's scared, So when these situations come, you might see him run. You might see him be scared of the villains, and he might play scared, and he might do things that, But then eventually it's going to come a time where, like, it's going to be that special moment where he transfers from, like, he just snaps, and that's going to be it. He's just going to snap,
Yeah.
He has a moment where he breaks down and goes, hey, you know what 2 animals there are? T-Rex and a whale. I'm going to kill you now.
T-Rex and a whale. Dude, I'm trying to dude, I swear to you, if anybody sat down and thought this thing out, it was me, dude. It took a long time, dude. I had to rewrite this thing multiple times. Mm-hmm. It took a long time just to get this. And it's really, dude, it's really good, man. I'm 110% confident, man, that this thing is really good. It's just up to me to make sure I get it across the way I'm telling you guys, so that you see everything that's happening.
Well, Steve Harvey always says in some of his things, when you have a dream that you want to chase it, but you're going to get to the point where you're at a cliff, and you got to take that leap of faith. And you may fall, but you got to get back up and jump again. And at some point, you will fly. And that's what sounds like what you have done.
Yeah, dude. And I really just want to finish. I wish I had the money to just finish out the story. Dude, I did everything. I got my website up. I started a Kickstarter. It's doing pretty bad, but I started it. I tried to do these things, but it's kind of just like, if you're not under the Marvel banner, people don't even care. You really got to kind of like just be out for a while and have them know about you, and then they'll just tap in from time to time. They'll be like, oh yeah, I know about him, Then eventually, if it hits TV, then that's when everybody's like, oh yeah, I've been a fan and all this other stuff, and it'll get crazy. But
when you're starting off with Kickstarter, it's the big thing is getting it out there that you're doing something.
Yeah,
because people have to notice it.
Yeah, it's always the fight for stability first.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's expensive, man, to pay for all the line art. So I really have everything. Real Villain Comics is like it's there. I'm my own business because I have my manufacturer, I have my distribution. I have my numbers down packed. I have my log line. I have a sample script. I have my beginning, middle, and end with an open ender so it can keep going. Like I'm ready. If you put me in a room with somebody, dude, I will steal the room.
You have got your foundation built. Now you're ready to kind of build up from there.
Yeah, like my foundation is laid. Now it's all upon if I just want to get better writers on board to just make it even more juicy, at certain times, because when you're making it, you can tweak some things, maybe make it a bit juicier. But then again, I mean, if I made it this far and I'm talking to you guys, then I feel like I'm not doing too bad, I just gotta keep believing in myself and keep going.
And just keep getting the word out.
Every time you stumble, you get back up and keep trugging along.
Dude, it's a lot of money, man. From the colorist, line work artist to the manufacturing, distribution, the barcodes, the shipping packaging that you need, because you don't want to just put it in the bag and have their comic messed up. You want them to get it and feel like it's special. So it's just like it's so much. And now that I've invested all this money and I have a proven concept product and a foundation built, I have a business. Like I have my Real Villain Comics is a real thing. Whereas though it's big on the big scale or not, like I have a big manufacturer. Like I can supply all the comic book stores if I want it. You get what I'm saying? Like if they were asking for comics, I have the manufacturer to do all that, and I have the distribution to do all that. So It's more so now of me just scaling up and getting people to want this thing, and that's where it's hard, the marketing part, because that's not my expertise. I'm a creator, man.
Now, I've seen the pictures of where you've got a box full of the comics and stuff. Are you also releasing it digitally, or?
Yeah, I am actually releasing it digital, and I don't really like to charge that much for digital, man, just because it's digital. But I'm hearing again, digital is the new wave because the kids are like they're always in the iPads and the phones that they're saying books might be a thing of the past for the new generations that are coming up. So, I mean, I do have digital and I do have hard copy.
Okay.
So you got all the bases covered.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like for the foundation, I feel like I'm ready, man. I know if I was to get put in a room around a bunch of people, dude, they would be ready. They would want to jump on this. It's too unique, man. I mean, other people got great comics. Don't get it wrong, dude. I didn't. I walked in the store and I looked at those comics compared to mine, and I was like, yeah, you need to upgrade your art, dude. Your art's great, but you got some guys out there that's pretty good. So I was just like, okay. And now that I upgraded, I feel like I got it, dude. I think I got it, man.
Well, I hope you soar and you get the backers and everything you need and the subscribers you need. And we wish you luck.
Thank you, man.
We'll wrap up here today. I've been your host.
Danny, before we wrap up, Daniel.
Yeah.
Just for anybody listening, where can they get in touch with you at?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can go to realvillaincomics.bigcartel.com. I have like my first issue up there with all my information and all that, and you can also order the first issue off of there. And you can also Daniel Barker on Facebook. You'll see my picture, say Real Villain Comics, and I'm also on Instagram at Real Villain Comics too.
Okay.
Real Villain Comics. Yep.
All righty. Well, I've been your host today, CDO113. With me today has been
the token comic boy, Tarky.
The experience of some call Jason.
And the Todd Father. And thanks, Daniel, for coming on and chopping it up with us for a little while.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Dude, I mean, I really appreciate it, man. The fact that you guys didn't grind me up, it's well, dude, that's been done already. And, well, it's kind of, the fact that you guys said that is pretty unique, then I feel like I'm on the right path, man. It means a lot to hear from people like you because you guys have the experience. Like, I'm a newcomer to this, so you guys you're the real deal.
We appreciate it.
And when you get big, don't forget us,
No, dude, no. Just keep me on Facebook, dude. I'll always come. I'm human, man. I don't get into the spotlight and the limelight. That's why I told you guys if Marvel or DC came, it's not about the money for me. It's about me owning the business. So I wouldn't even sign. I would still be. I'm human, man.
It's not that I doubt you, but if Disney money showed up, I know I'd sell out. I ain't gonna lie.
See,
dude,
I don't know. If Disney money showed up, pull a Simpsons.
You know what? It depends on where I'm at. If I'm like at the bottom and I just have nothing, and it's been over a year and a half and it just ain't moving as I thought it would, then maybe we could work something out. But for the most part, dude, I'm not even looking at those guys. I don't even really. If they tried to come today, I would tell them no because I don't even know if what it is or if it's that good yet. I would tell them you would have to come back to me in like a year or so because I really want to get more of it out there. I don't feel like you guys actually got to see the juices, Yeah. But again, man, I appreciate you guys having me.
We thank you for being here, man.
Yeah. Hey, if your kids in your books or anything like the ones out in the world, always on them devices, if one of them happens to be on a cell phone or a tablet, you can have them looking at our webpage.
Okay, for sure. Just make sure.
Product placement.
Plugs. We ain't above shameless self-promotion.
But we've enjoyed having you today, Daniel.
All
All our
right, man.
listeners, if you got a request, shout it out to us. Look up Daniel Barker on Facebook and Real Villain Comics on his webpage. And we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Peace.
Bye.